And joining me at this time is one half of Roscoe Eat Lisa, Zakk Sawyers. Joining me right now. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for calling. I truly appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. Thanks for having me on. I definitely appreciate it.
Shout out to your tag team partner, Mikey. He was
Yep,
scheduled to call in, but due to circumstances, he's unable to. So you are calling in for his behalf and also for the team. And chatting with Mike in 2017. And if not, try to have you both on at the same time. Um,
absolutely, man. It's
so,
always a good time.
man, let's talk. Roscoe Eat Lisa.
Mhm.
Very interesting name for a tag team name. Um,
Isn't it?
yeah. So, how did that name came about?
Okay, so basically the easiest way to kind of describe this is Mikey and I have a mutual friend named Dustin who wrestles as well. Um, and Dustin, if we ever had days when we were off and we would just hit Dustin up because he lives in the same town as us, and we would just be like, hey, man, do you want to hang out? Or if we, like, for example, if we weren't booked on the show that day, we'd be like, hey, man, do you want to go to Tennessee with us? We got on the show, blah, 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 blah. Would you like to go? And Dustin would always give, like, completely out of left field excuse, man, always. One time we were hanging out with him. It wasn't even the day we were booked to wrestle or anything. We were just driving around shooting the shit, and Dustin was like, I got to go back to the house. We're like, why? He's like, oh, I left the eggs out. And I'm like, who does that? I'm like, that doesn't sound like a real valid excuse. So the excuses has become more and more ridiculous. Like he'd ask our friends if he could borrow $40 to buy a shovel to bury his dog. And just always he'd have really wild excuses. And so one day, me and Mikey were going back and forth, and we were like, we're going to hit up Dustin and see if he wants to go to the show. And we just started popping off with reasons as to why we thought he wasn't going to go. And his mother, Lisa, and he has a dog named Roscoe, and we were just going back and hear me remember how it goes. We've told it so many times that I think we kind of get it mixed up now. One of us had said something like Roscoe ate Lisa, and that's going to be Dustin's excuse as to why he couldn't hang out. Then when we started tagging, we were like, oh, we need a name. And so we just started shooting the shit and coming up with some names, and that was one of the ones that kind of popped with us and stuck.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very,
it's a very interesting story, man.
man, it's you know, and it sticks with y'all. And
Yeah, surprisingly enough, man, we weren't really sure how it would work at first. I mean, like, yeah, for however weirdly it fits, it seems like it works out all right for us, I think.
so to your fellow workers, male and female,
Hmm.
what were their reactions when they asked what's the name of your tag team? Roscoe Eat Lisa. What were your fellow workers' reaction to the name of the tag team?
Honestly, it's kind of mixed reactions sometimes. There's been times where we've had promoters be like, "Hey, we don't like that name," or blah 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 blah, and you know what I mean. We completely understand that. But as far as like just fellow workers, 9 times out of 10, it's usually a pretty good laugh. We get to tell someone the story, and they usually kind of get a kick out of it and go on about their business. But I mean, like if someone ever asks, we're definitely one to bring it up because we love to tell the story, and it's definitely a funny one, we think.
Man, I would love to be the ring announcer introducing you two and try to say that without bust out laughing. I
We
mean,
uh we used to when we would do shows, we still do them. Strictly Insane, we'd have this long list of monikers we'd have them read, me and Mikey would, and we try to come up with the most ridiculous shit we could come up with,
hmm
just and we wouldn't tell the other one until the ring to start reading them off, so we just see who's each other laugh, you know what I mean? And Mikey's usually half the time would make me laugh because they're pretty good and they catch me off guard.
man, this is I'm definitely a fan of you fellas. You
Thank you,
guys
man.
are very entertaining tag team. You know, for what people told me about you guys, and With 2016 winding down,
Mm.
what do you consider, well, at least for you, the biggest highlight for the team in 2016? The one moment that stands out the most?
The one moment that stands out the most, man, I don't know. Really, we did a lot of really cool things in 2016 that I'm proud of, and we definitely that Mike you're proud of too. Man, it's really kind of hard to narrow it down to one. But if you were asking my opinion of the one thing I thought was really cool, man, I don't know. Like there's two immediately that pop into my head. Is that okay if I use two, or does it got to be
Yeah,
one?
go right ahead, man. Go for it.
Okay. Wrestling for FIP and Ford on iPay-per-view was really cool. That was a really good experience, and I'm glad me and Mikey were able to share that together. Definitely wouldn't want to share that with anybody else, man, and that was really fun. And we won the St. Louis Anarchy Tag Team titles too earlier this year, which was definitely a really cool moment for me, and I know it was for Mikey as well. And yeah, we've definitely done some cool things this year, man. So that's a really good question.
So, obviously, being a tag team, it's all
Hmm.
about being on the same page. It's about getting along inside the ring and the ring.
Absolutely.
Um, with you and Mikey, what do you think has been the key to the team's success?
Uh, Man, that's a good question. I don't really know if I've ever had anyone ask me that. I think I have similar minds for wrestling, and we both. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, we butt heads like anybody else, but I mean, we get along great and everything. And I mean, obviously, we're always on the same page with stuff, and I know we kind of know the direction we want things to go for uh, wrestling and all that. And yeah, I mean, I definitely.
And, who do you consider some of your tag team influences, at least from your side, that that may have inspired or have some influence in Roscoe Eat Lisa?
Um, Definitely the first one that pops in my mind is the Hooligans, Devin and Mason Cutter. I mean, those guys are fucking awesome, man. I mean, they've helped us out incredibly. I think they're the fucking epitome of tag wrestling. Honestly, not for the Midwest and for the entire country. I mean, those guys are awesome. Yeah, I mean, they've definitely helped us out, and they're definitely influenced. As far as guys that Mikey and I watch to try to pattern stuff after, it's really, we watch a lot of odd teams too, but we also watch a lot of normal tag teams as well. The guys like the Eliminators, we like, I mean, obviously the Rock and Roll Express, and anybody that's in a tag team, I think it's kind of mandatory to like the Rock and Roll Express. I mean, they're absolutely awesome. The Rockers, man. I don't know, man. There's a bunch. I mean, Marty Jannetty and X-Pac, we watched the tag and we like their stuff. And then there's guys that we watch the singles a lot too. And when they get thrown in with tag teams with other guys that we like mismatch ones, we'll definitely go out of our way to watch those. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely people like the Rockers and Rock and Roll Express that we use for heavy influence a lot.
I definitely appreciate tag team wrestling for many years, dating back to the Steiner brothers,
Mhm.
the Legion of Doom, um, the Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty,
Mhm.
those teams, and to see how tag team wrestling has evolved throughout the years. There will be some who wear similar attire. There are some wrestlers that be polar opposites but manage to make it work and
Mhm.
things like that. Man, I feel like tag team wrestling has definitely come a long way.
Yep.
It continues to change,
Mhm.
the change the game of professional wrestling, and I think with 2016 more excitement tag team wrestling. Um,
I think
for
so.
sure. So you being a tag team expert and all,
Mm,
so there's a team from the WWE called the New Day
mm,
who are approaching history books as the longest reigning tag team champions. Um, the current holder or name of them,
mm.
who I consider probably one of the top 10 greatest tag teams of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, they are approaching the record if they were to beat Anderson, Gallows, Sheamus, and Cesaro come Monday night.
Mm.
Tuesday they tie the record. Wednesday they break the record. Your thoughts on the New Day as a tag team and as they are approaching this record?
Uh, Honestly, man, if we're shooting 100% straight here, I love the New Day. I think maybe originally when they threw them together, it was just kind of a thing of, okay, we're going to stick them together and just kind of see what happens. And then given what they had, man, I think they 100% knocked it out of the park. And I mean, I think their gimmick's great. I think they're very entertaining, uh, especially like when they do trios matches or anything of the sort. I mean, they always seem to do crazy stuff, and I think tag team wrestling so much because there's so much creativity that's allowed. And you know what I mean, man? It's just it's almost endless in the tag team wrestling. Those guys are great, man. And I mean, as far as their coming close to approaching and breaking that title reign, yeah, man, that's awesome. I mean, how many other people can say they've done that? I mean, that's incredible.
And the fact that Demolition has held that record for so long, and it's like
Yeah.
maybe back then WWE didn't give tag team wrestling a thought or whatever,
Hmm.
and they hit gold when they after WrestleMania with the New Day suck chants.
Hmm.
They started to let them be themselves a little bit more, have a
Yeah.
little fun, and then eventually crowds started chanting along with them with Biggie in the introduction. I'm happy for these
Hmm.
brothers as they
Yeah.
approach this record. I'm happy for them, especially Kofi, who's been in WWE for a very long time, and it feels like
Hmm.
eh, on his own, I think he's considered very talented. But
Hmm.
those three together, you know, they knocked it out of the park.
Hmm.
And they are my favorite parts of Raw, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for them, for
Yeah, they're
sure.
definitely entertaining, man. They're really good at what they do for sure.
So on to 2017, what are some goals that you and Mikey would like to set for ourselves? What more tag team title reigns, like more rivalries, more shows, more opportunities? What's the goals for you fellas in 2017 coming up?
Really, man. I mean, all those you listed, honestly. I mean, definitely anytime we can come in somewhere and uh, beat whoever the tag team champions are at the time, and add another set of titles to our resume. I mean, that's definitely always cool. Um, I mean, as far as shows, we want to get on any and every show we can. We would like to tackle more international stuff this year. Mikey went to Mexico and Canada last year, and I definitely know that's something he enjoyed both of those a lot. And I mean, it's definitely something I would like to experience myself. And so, I mean, that's definitely one of the goals. I mean, face new tag teams, guys we haven't faced off with before. Face guys we've wrestled this past year as well. I mean, really, man, it's kind of everything you listed below. And we just want to do anything and everything we can.
What would definitely make me happy in 2017 is you guys come here to Kentucky and showcase your talent. I mean, definitely all you Kentucky wrestling promoters out there, I'm gonna need y'all to book Roscoe Eat Lisa. Bring him here to Kentucky. Let him face the best that Kentucky has to offer, and you are in for a treat. Um, I would see Roscoe Eat Lisa in person. Um, but that's just me. I mean, I'm only one voice, and I guess it's just matter of get the word out, let people know about you fellas. More opportunities headed your way. So, do you fellas have any upcoming shows for the remainder of December, and what else do you have up 17 that you have as of right now?
Uh, well, first off, definitely thank you for what you just did a few seconds ago. Appreciate that, and if Kentucky would like to have us, we're definitely interested. And, I'm sure we'll our social media and get hold of us on here later on. I'm sorry, what was the second part of the question again?
Go ahead and promote your upcoming shows for December and confirm for 2017.
We have a few shows, or we have a few available spots open for December, some of which are filled up. And then for 2017, let me see. I'm sorry, I'm kind of bad offhand. If I don't have my calendar, I can't tell you everything. My memory's not so good. We're pretty much going to start 2000 with a pretty good bang. We're going to our debut for a company. I can't say who it is just yet, but definitely keep your filled and everything, and we'll be announcing stuff as they announce it as well. And then in January, the NWL St. Louis officially takes off, and I think the date for that is, I think it's January 12th. Just want to make sure I'm getting this right here. And there will be some more chances to see us around the St. Louis area. I know we've got some stuff coming up in Mississippi as well. We've got a few things coming up in Tennessee. And we'll be back in the Louisville, Clarksville area around that time as well. But offhand, I can't say all the things until we're exactly announced.
I got you. And for those who want to get in touch with Roscoe Eat Lisa, they are on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the tag team at Roscoe Eat Lisa. You can follow Zakk at, let me see if I get this right, Beatus Zakk. That's BETUSZAKK. You can follow Mikey at Mikey BMOC. You can follow them on Instagram. You can follow Zakk at Big Daddy Wizard, and Mikey, same handle as Twitter, Mikey BMOC. That's MIKEY. And it was great chatting with you, Zakk. Thank you so much for your time. Continued success for the remainder of the year, and I look forward to see what y'all have in store for 2017. Again, thanks for being on, man.
Awesome, man. Thank you for having us on again, and hopefully we'll get a chance to have Mikey on here soon. We'll both be able to chat with you and talk about some more stuff in 2017.
Absolutely. You have a good night, have a great weekend, and happy holidays to you.
Thank you so much, man. You as well.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Zakk Sawyers, one half of Roscoe Eat Lisa, joining me on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.